Okay, welcome to another episode of Talking Taste. I'm with my guys, and we got a special guest, D Miles. What's good, bro?
What's up with it, bro? How y'all?
Cooling, bro.
Cooling. What's up?
Um, yeah, so we gonna vibe, man. The first question I would say I want to ask you, man, is where you get your passion for basketball? Where that come from?
I grew up in a small town, East St. Louis, like 89 blocks. Um, and my coach that I played for, my high school coach that I played for, he was the first black coach to win a state championship in the state of Illinois from a black school. So back in the day, they used to win like state championship. They won like three back to back. They was first team to win three back to back. And you know, Chicago is the big city in Illinois, so we like a small city, like right on the edge of the state. And I just watched like the program and how it was, and that just started giving me like a passion for it. And watching them win state, that just made me start rocking with basketball. My family was naturally tall, black, and skinny,
Right.
so it was just no choice. I was always the tallest. So, but yeah, just watching him, watching them early years and them winning championships in the '80s. You know, I always just wanted to play basketball and play basketball for him when I got to high school.
Dang, that's dope. You know, I would have thought like for me, like my mom and my dad was it's funny that they was big Chicago Bulls fans. So I used to sit in our living room and watch Bulls games, and that's how I developed a passion for basketball. And she always bought us basketball hoops at an early age. Um, did you have memories of your mom and your dad of?
Yeah, my mom played. She's played sports, but she played softball. But she used to drive the school bus for the high school teams that I'm talking about.
Oh,
So they used to
yeah.
have little rivalries and stuff, and she used to always drive the school bus. So I used to ride on the school bus. We'll go and pick up the team. You know, I'll sit in the first seat all the time, sit by the coach. Then we'll go to the gym and we'll watch the team play. And them was like her little field trip she had as being a school bus driver. And like them was the early memories of what I was looking at. Then once I started getting into it from that, then I started watching it on TV. That's what started inspiring me. You know, we from Illinois, WGN.
For sure.
We caught all 82 of the Bulls games when Mike Nell was winning. But watching the Fab Five, UNLV, like different memories like that, them all just inspired me. And then the guys, like I say, the guys that was from the high school team that was winning state, I always played with older dudes. So they always used to be on me. I'm the only child. But I had to get my ass kicked and like all sorts of shit just to get tough enough and get to the level that I needed to get to.
When did when was it a time where you felt like when you was elite at basketball at an early age? When people started like AU coaches started coming after you and things of that nature?
Um, where I'm from, 7th through ninth is junior high, and 10th through 12th was high school. So when my ninth grade year, I was still playing in middle school. So it's this coach, AU coach from Chicago, came down and he went to all the high school because he was just looking for talent to start his AAU team, and he was gonna do a whole little spotlight with like the top 100 players. So all the high schools he went to was just like, yeah, it's this kid in middle school that he gonna be the best player in high school when he get there. So he came to my middle school, and you know, like I say, he from Chicago. He was fast talking and all that, and I'm looking at him like, man, I ain't finna play for you. So I just left. He gave me his number. I ain't give it to my mama or nothing like that. And then like a couple of days later, he just popped up at my crib, and I'm like, bro, what you? I told you I ain't playing. I ain't rocking with you. What you doing in my crib? He done already talked to my mama, like the teacher done called my mama, and they ain't had a whole conversation. So the day he posted did the spotlight, my mom had a heart attack. So she was in the hospital. So a couple of days later, he did the spotlight. So my cousin drove me down there, and my cousin the whole ride down there, them cousins like, man, hey, you better get down here. You better kill these folks. You don't kill these folks. I'm telling everybody in the hood. and that's the first day I met Q. So I
Ah,
went to the spotlight. I killed, like, and went back home, and that's when I met Q. And Q was on the AAU
how
team.
old you were then? Like ninth grade, like
I
14?
was I was 14, 15.
So you've been rocking with Q for that long, huh?
Yeah, I've been on Q since I was
Sheesh.
like 14, 15.
And what position were you then? Were you a big then?
I was a center.
You center.
Yeah, I
And
was like 6'7", 6'8"
as a ninth grader.
as a ninth grader.
And Q was power forward? What was Q
Yeah,
like?
he was playing power forward. Yeah.
Damn.
He was about 6'4".
6'4",
Yeah, he was about
14, 15?
nah. He was 2 years above me. He was a senior when I was a sophomore.
Ah,
Like
okay.
I'm 2 years behind him.
Yeah.
And when I came out, he came out of DePaul, but he did 2 years at DePaul.
And got
Like they
out of there.
won state my sophomore year. Q them did.
Yeah.
They was the best thing. I was finna transfer to Q them school because my school went on strike for 2 months. Like our school started in August. We went on strike August, September because they was trying to close down our school.
Mm-hmm.
So they finally announced that they're gonna close the school after my sophomore year, and we started school in like middle of October.
Why? Well, because what? Not
They were trying to shut the school down. They were
big,
trying to close it.
bad grades or something? Because you test
No,
scores
it
or?
was just it was two high schools in a small area.
Mm-hmm.
So what they were trying to do is combine us with the rival school,
Ah, make one. Huh?
yeah, and make one big school. And my sophomore year is when they did it. So I played my sophomore year at Lincoln, the school I was telling you I wanted to always play for.
Mm-hmm.
And then my coach at Lincoln decided to coach at Eastside, and I wound up going to Eastside for 2 years.
Okay. So that experience, that journey for you in from ninth grade to 12th grade had to be a serious one, man.
Yeah, I was at Clark my ninth grade year. It was crazy. I went to Clark. Then I started playing AAU. I was playing with Q them and playing with the young squad. Q them went undefeated that summer. And
Anybody else on Q team that during that time?
Cordell Henry, Dennis Gates, uh, nobody that really
Play in the
made the
league, huh?
league.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
But, that was basically their high school team that they were playing with. So I played off and on with them. I went to Nike camp. They ranked me like crazy high and all that stuff.
First year at Nike camp
First year.
as a ninth grader, or
As that summer going to be a 10th grade.
someone going to be a 10th grader?
Yeah,
What would they
that's
rank you when they first saw you?
3.
You was number
I was in the
three.
streets and Smith as number 3 player. Had like Marcus Taylor and Omar Cook was above me.
I heard Omar Cook.
That was the LeBron before LeBron, right? This was
Nah,
Omar
you talking
Cook?
about Lenny Cook.
Oh,
You talking about
Lenny.
Lenny Cook? Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
talking about Omar
Omar
Cook.
Cook. You
He's a
talking about the
point
guard?
guard.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they was ranked above me, and that next summer I went to Russia. I played my sophomore year, then went to Russia for the USA team
Okay. Yeah.
for like 2 months, and it was just different steps. I went to different schools. I was about to go to Oak Hill. I was about to go to a rival school in St. Louis named Vashon. I thought about going there. I remember talking to Rashad, and I was like, "Yeah, man, how's Oak Hill?" He was like, "Yeah, man, it's all the way in Virginia, it's in the mountains." They was like, "Yeah, but ain't no girls there." And I'm like, "What?"
That
I
ain't gonna
said, "Bro,
work,
I
huh?
get dressed for school every day because of girls." Like,
Straight.
what you, not no girls. Like,
Right.
nah. He's like, "Nah, it's girls, but they on the other side of the building. We on this side." They was like, the closest town is like 50 miles away. I
So
was like, nah. My mom was like, if you can make it anywhere, you can make it from the crib. So I
show,
stayed.
show, absolutely. I'm sure you had a bunch of people around you, like how can I put it, like like AAU coaches, maybe agent runners, all kind of people just want to be a part of your journey because they feel like they can gain something.
Nah, cause like my AAU coach was from Chicago, so I ain't used to have them around, and wasn't too many people coming to East St. Louis. Like you come to St. Louis, first thing they say, don't go to the East Side.
Uh,
So it wasn't random people just walking around or coming around and stuff like that. It wasn't that.
would you say you was like maybe like the LeBron before the LeBron? Would you say, as far as being a high school phenom and you know?
Yeah, you can say that. You can say that. Like I feel like everybody who then came high, like KG was
Yeah,
before me, and
yeah,
then it was like Kobe, and then
yeah.
like we all just it was always a similar step. You know, I
Uh-huh.
don't think nobody was hyped more than LeBron at the time, but
Did
yeah, I feel like we do got a lot of similarities together.
yeah. Did you kind of look like during your time when it was time for you to enter the draft, right? Did you look at what Kobe did, what KG did?
Yeah, I was. Yeah, I was paying attention. I was paying attention to all the guys, like even Rashard Lewis, because Rashard Lewis stuck out more to me because he slipped in the draft.
Oh
Like, I
yeah,
remember he
yeah,
was
yeah.
sitting in the green room for a long time, and it was like, man. So I was telling them, I told my college coach because I committed to St. John's.
Yep.
So Mike Jarvis was showing love. He was telling me like they talking about you lottery. My AAU coach was like, man, they talking about you lottery. So I was like, man, I ain't going unless I'm lottery, unless I'm top 12 pick,
Mm-hmm.
13 pick.
That was smart.
So once I decided to go, we did the workouts. They was like, yeah, you top 5. I was like, all right.
I'm out of
And
here.
I knew KG went 5, so I wanted to go just higher than him.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, they was like, yeah, you might get picked. I ain't even work out for the Clippers, but the Clippers picked me at 3.
Who was 1 and 2 that year? I remember you
New Jersey and Vancouver.
in New
My
Jersey.
mom was like, yeah, he ain't going to Vancouver. And Steve Francis just got picked the year before, and you remember he hold it out
Mm-hmm.
because he didn't want to go
He
to
was
Vancouver either. But I wound up doing a movie in Vancouver, and I was like, oh, it's nice out here. But, you know, we ain't know nothing about Canada.
right.
My first time being out the country was when I did it with the USA team with Russia. So I just wasn't feeling my first team going to Vancouver.
All right. So before we go more into like your NBA career, like how did we've been talking about love, right? How did like love impact you negatively or positively growing up?
Like, what you mean in love? Like, love for basketball or
Love,
love from
love
your
for
people?
like
From your
Just love
parents.
in general,
just
like
Yeah.
love in general, like
borders.
anything that stands out from you that you felt like love or you was like, damn,
The
that
lack
ain't
of
feel
love.
good for me coming up.
My love was good. I feel like the reason I made it was because of love. Like, my mom she was my best friend. She was my everything. Like, and reason I ain't really get into who was better than me or I never really cared about crowds or anything like that because I just needed one person to believe in what I was doing. Cause I remember like in 8th and ninth grade, they used to say some of these dudes was just as good as me, and I used to be like, nah, even guys on my team. And the benefit of having me on the team, it never really was like, yeah, the reason y'all winning like that because D Miles is under the goal blocking all the shots type stuff. But with my mom and love, all I needed was her. As long as I had her, I was good. She made sure she showed the right love, got me anything I wanted. I was wearing a size 18 shoe in 7th grade.
Damn.
So for me to keep up with the Jordans and Nikes, like my shoes stayed at $300,
Right.
but she sacrificed and did what she supposed to do to make sure I had everything, and it was just me and her. So the love thing, I had it. I didn't need love from nobody else. I wasn't looking at it because where we from was so cutthroat. You couldn't, it's the hood. You can't trust and give everybody your trust or even accept too much love. You always got to have a mean mug on. So, she was my safe place.
Yeah,
So
man.
love is important.
Yeah, yeah. Love is definitely important. Uh, like we was talking about last couple episodes, just how it can impact you. You know what I'm saying? And that's how it impacted you. Sometimes growing in the hood, you might not have neither parent. You know, I feel like we be blessed when we at least have one. You know what I'm saying? Or somebody to look at
Yeah,
us as a parent.
yeah,
On the journey. I just feel like love is important and you know, we need to always have it or be able to maneuver if we don't.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I feel like everybody came around to it. Like I said, but the love, the initial love was my mama. I really didn't care about what everybody else thought. But after that, it was like I say, it's a small city. So the city was like on my back. It turned into a responsibility. The love I was getting around the city. I remember we used to go to McDonald's and they used to give us free cheeseburgers and stuff. Like, oh, y'all the basketball team? Like, yeah, y'all can get that. You know what I'm saying? So eventually everybody else started showing love around the city, but I feel like love is important. Sometimes you need that. And if you can't get it from everybody, you need at least one person that feel you.
Sure, sure. So when it was time for you to get drafted, right? It was like you, your mom, your agent.
Yeah,
What
me,
about
my
friends?
yeah, I had my homeboy there. I
Mm-hmm.
had my homeboy there. I had my grandmother, my granddad, my mom, my pops, uh, and I had my homeboy.
Mm-hmm.
Two of my homeboys there.
Did they stay with you the whole way?
Yeah.
Were they your homeboys the whole way?
Nah, they just came to the draft when I stayed with my mom in my first year.
Damn, you
Like
with
my
your
mom and
mom.
my pops,
Cause you was about what? You was like, what?
I
How
was
old?
18.
You was 18?
Yeah, so I flew my mom and pops to LA and got like this 4-bedroom joint off Marina Del Rey.
I know where you at.
Yeah, got a little 4-bedroom joint right down the street from like Neil Long and
Okay.
Rick Fox and all
Right,
them. Like I
right.
was feeling myself. Like, oh man, we in.
What
But
was your
my first
first?
year, I stayed with my mom, and then she kicked me out my second year.
And say you need your own pad.
Yeah, she hit me with like, yeah, you gotta find somewhere else to go. And I'm like, man, I pay all the bills. She was like, yeah, that don't really mean nothing though, but you gotta get up out of here.
Gotta get out of
So I
here.
went and bought I don't know if you know the high rises they got right there in the middle of Marina, them apartments. I went and got a spot at the high rises my second year.
But once you got to LA, right, you didn't want to leave that place, huh?
Huh?
You didn't want to leave LA, huh?
I didn't like LA.
You didn't like LA.
Nah, I ain't
Oh
like
my
LA at
God.
first, man. I'm a country boy, man. You know, folks be in the house on Sunday.
Yeah.
Where I'm from, like that constant traffic, that constant people moving around you. Like that was my first time being in a city. Like you know the traffic you got to go from the marina just to get to the gym to hoop.
Right.
Like I really wasn't feeling that. That 24-hour, yeah, that 24-hour traffic. Yeah, it just got, and then it was just different, you know.
What about like running across like people you see on TV, like the Neil Longs of the world, the actors, the other athletes. Like how was that though?
Oh, that was dope.
That was dope.
That brought all kind of opportunities,
Mm-hmm.
just being out in LA, like just for being with the Clippers and being out in LA, and they started like how we playing. Like I had the opportunity to be in movies, TV shows, commercials, like all that's dope. Like I definitely was feeling that. It definitely felt different in that sense, but it was just LA was just so big and just so many people
Yeah.
that it was overwhelming at first. Like it's like you went from 89 blocks to LA.
LA.
Where they got
Showtime.
Inglewood, Compton, Hollywood, like
Yeah. I,
Marina Del Rey. They got it was big. Culture was different, you
Definitely
know.
different. And I remember when I played in LA, it was like towards the end of my career.
Hmm.
I ain't want to leave, bro.
You didn't want to live.
Shit, no. I love LA. I lived in Manhattan Beach. You know
Okay,
Manhattan
yeah,
Beach?
yeah.
It's not too far from Marina
It's
Del
not,
Rey.
yeah, not too far.
Um,
I think Steve lived there. Steve Nash.
Steve, yeah, Zach, I
Yeah,
used to see
Steve Nash.
Steve.
Yeah, Steve Nash lived over
I
there, right
used to see
off the
him.
water and stuff. Yeah, I know where you at.
Yeah. Um, but yeah, cause that was like my last year. I played with Kobe his last year,
Hmm.
and then that next year I had a chance to go to San Antonio, but I was like, I don't want to go to San Antonio, bro. I'm gonna stay in LA. I played for the Clippers my last year.
Yeah, San Antonio was nice.
San Antonio, you like San
I
Antonio?
like San Antonio. It was
So
nice.
it remind you of the crib, probably, right? Because to
Nah,
me, it's slow.
but
It's too slow
it
for
was
me,
it
bro.
was
It's slow.
slower.
Yeah.
It was slower. Like I say, LA is just man. Like I'm a country boy, man, and it was just too fast for me.
Even after playing all your cities you played in, you still rather
Yeah, I love to visit LA. I love to visit. I wouldn't live there.
you want to live there,
That's not where I wanna.
live on.
Yeah, that's not where I want to live. I like kind of chill, a little quiet, not too many things going on. Stay in my little area. But that's probably the only child syndrome. But yeah, LA was it was fast. It was moving. It was a lot.
Right.
What was your first big purchase as a
My
rookie?
first big purchase?
Yeah.
Oh, I bought well, my first big purchase, I bought my mom a Rolex. and a Lincoln LS.
Okay.
Damn, okay.
And
Took care of mom right quick.
yeah, then I bought an Escalade, put them gold D's on that hoe.
From
The
Dub,
gold Dayton's on
wasn't
them bit.
Dub a 360 motor back
Nah, we
then?
ain't mess with them, man.
Oh,
Q went to, we built it ours ourselves. We ain't do the 310 motors and
okay,
all that
310.
stuff,
That's
you
right.
know. Them boys were charging about 100,000. If we did it ourselves and went through the little people, we'll come out about 30,000. So I just went and got them 100 spoke gold Dayton's on that bitch. Put TVs in the back. I had 612s on that motherfucker.
Being in LA, did you have to
No,
deal with like
hold up, bro. You got don't go so
oh
fast
your
with six
car?
twelves, bro.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
you a
The
car
six
guy?
twelve and the
Yeah.
100 spokes and the TVs through that
And
thing.
TVs through that jump. TV lit out the
Beating down the
dashboard.
What was
block.
it,
TVs in the back.
kicker back then?
Yeah, I had the 612s. Man, that shit used to have your face like itching. That shit used to
Itching now,
rattle
I had
because
so
that
much.
beat,
615s
right?
in college.
You know what else kind of like, I feel like for during your time, like having an Escalade with the wheels, with the speakers and the TVs was like a NBA starter
Starter
kit
kit.
for
Oh
real.
yeah, with the chain, with
With
your
the
initials
chain.
on that motherfucker.
With the
With either your
Or your
old nickname or initials.
or your number.
Or
yeah,
in your number. I should
yeah.
had all that. I had the D Miles chain, number 21.
Who made it for you, Dave?
Dave.
Dave Zimmerman, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Dave was a big time jeweler.
Dave did Q's, Q Rich, number 3.
Right.
Yeah, we had the NBA starter kit.
And you had all the you know how you used to have all the Farouk, you know Farouk?
Yeah, Farouk definitely came with a
All the
nice
gear,
velvet
huh?
sweatsuit or
With the
something good.
right.
You know what I'm saying?
Velour,
Like
Sean
Farouk used to
John.
come through.
Yeah, bro.
Son
Look,
John Jones,
yeah.
yup.
So look, when we come to LA, right? Any team come through, you're gonna have, especially if you stay at that, what's that, the Ritz Carlton in
Yep.
the Marina Del Rey?
Yep.
You're gonna have the Farouks.
Farouk's.
You're gonna have Dave, the
Dave.
jeweler.
Yeah.
One other guy, I forgot his name.
Jason or Jaime?
Now Jason didn't come till later
Not Jason.
on.
Jason came
Later.
later. Talking about Jason Beverly Hills?
Yeah.
Yeah,
He came
Jason
later.
came when
But they selling clothes and jewelry. You ain't even gotta leave the hotel.
yeah, you don't gotta leave the hotel like Farouk and them coming. Whatever you need, they hooking you up.
Yeah. Shout out to them boys,
I remember
man.
the first time we went out and we needed something to wear, and it's like, yeah, y'all gotta go get some dress clothes to wear out. First time I ever went and got some dress clothes to go out in. And we went to Farouk. Farouk hooked us up.
Yeah. Same.
the deal-
I remember copping red monkeys from Farouk, man. You remember the
Oh
red
yeah, I
monkeys?
used to have a bunch of them
They
red
went on
monkeys from Farouk.
That's Jeezy.
Red
You blame
Monkeys.
Jeezy for that one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bunch of red monkeys. I still got a bunch
You
of
still
red
got it?
monkeys I need to get rid of.
Yeah,
Efizu
man.
jeans.
Yeah.
You got some Jabos?
Yeah.
Definitely gonna have some
You
Jabos.
know, I used to buy them by the load. Like, man, I probably got, man, I want to say about 50 pair of jeans.
Damn.
Probably all red monkeys and all sorts of stuff.
And it was about a rack back then, though.
Yeah.
It was about $1,000 back
Yeah.
then. What was your welcome to the league moment?
Mm. Who was the welcome to the league moment? When I felt it,
Yeah,
that
like when
really
you felt
got
it,
up
yeah.
in me was Chris Webber. And I played Chris Webber, and I was playing some 4. So, you know, with us, man, with our 4s, they'll put me at the 4, and we get to running folks all out the gym and shit. Man, Sacramento like kind of slowed that bitch down, and they was giving it to him every time.
He had the
And
guard.
he wasn't even giving me no moves. He was just jump hooking me to just jump
One
hooking
dribble
the shit
hook.
out of me.
Yeah.
And I couldn't get past it. Like, man, how I'm not tossing this shit.
Right.
I'm timing it, and he just putting it just a little bit right over my fingers, and it was just like. And I looked up, that boy had like 36. I said, damn.
Right.
I felt all that 36. Like, yeah, that's me right there.
Welcome to the league.
Welcome to the league.
Man, so my welcome to the league was, I wasn't playing, but we was in LA playing against the Lakers, and
Yeah, Powell,
huh?
you had to play
No,
with
no,
Powell.
I'm just watching the game, and you know Desmond Mason,
D Mace.
D Mace, right? So D Mace was cooking a little bit, and Kobe was guarding him, and he started talking shit to Kobe, and then Kobe went off for like 4-5 straight. And he you know, he walked by our bench and he was like, man, he did this. He was like, you know that's a no-no. That's what Kobe did. Like this, you know that's a no. After the timeout, he went to the basket, got an and one, and he did a fist pump.
Yeah.
And he was walking towards me. And in my mind, I'm like, bro, this is the shit I see on TV, bro. You know what I
Man,
mean? And that was my welcome to the league moment. You know what
yeah.
I'm saying? It was just seeing Kobe, do that. I thought that was dope.
Yeah, we was raw in the cut when I first got to it because we had uh we had 5 players that was 21 and under. Like we couldn't even get in the club. Like, and it was all the guys that was really playing. So it was we ain't had nothing to lose.
Y'all like an AAU team for real.
Yeah, we was out there just it's
All
go
the same
time.
age, right?
We used to hype each other up. I'm talking about we'll be down 20, 30. We didn't even care. We just out here. Like, yeah,
Running and
y'all gonna
jumping.
respect this. Just running. And we won a game because a lot of people think well, we lost a lot of games. But before I got there, we won 18 out of 82 games.
Yeah, and I seen that. But y'all
Then when we got there, we won 31
game,
games the
yeah,
first year. Then the next year we won 39. We the youngest team in the league. I ain't never had a team this young with like where y'all got 5 players under 21 years old.
Who was those five though? UQ.
Me, Q, Keon, Corey, and Lamar.
Ooh,
Then we
Playing
added
free.
Elton. When Elton came,
ooh.
Lamar and Elton was 21. Corey Q Keon was 20, and I was 19.
You know everybody that he named?
Elton Brand,
Huh.
Corey Maggette.
Yep.
Yeah,
Who else you said?
Bulldog,
Keon Doolin.
Keon
Keon
Doolin.
Doolin,
Yeah.
Yeah,
You and
and
then what was
Q.
the
and
last one?
Q.
And
Q
then Elton
Richardson.
Brand came,
Yeah, Elton Brand.
Elton Brand came my second year.
bruh.
That was
If
the number
y'all
one
kept the
pick.
squad together though.
Yeah,
Could
but
have
we
been a
had enough
problem.
money to pay 2 superstars. Like, cause Clippers back then they weren't paying players. This is when it's first kind of turned for them with us. So man, we could have got Shaq and Kobe
Y'all could have
with
got
us
it.
if they won, but they weren't trying to pay nobody. So wasn't nobody really getting no money. Everybody was off
Just off
rookie
rookie
deals.
deals, huh? Yeah, that's dope, bro. Um, do that kind of remind you of like maybe like I don't know like Oklahoma City, where it was KD, James Harden, Westbrook, and they ain't really kind of know what they had, like
Yeah, yeah. It
you,
remind me of all the teams they put together now
that's
with the
young
younger
though.
because, like I say, that wasn't possible before us. Like you never seen a team that was that young all on one team. Like before us, it wasn't no team. If they had a young player, it was maybe one young player. Like Minnesota drafted KG. He was the only young
Young player,
player
yep.
that was 18, and
Maybe like
like
Oklahoma
with
City
Kobe,
now.
huh?
Maybe like Oklahoma City now
Yeah.
with
What I
all them
think.
young boys. Like,
Oh no, that's crazy.
yeah.
I
And
mean,
they can go. Like Shea, man, Shea is just his own pace, the way he play, like it's crazy. And then Chet with all the young, they just added the little young fella, Case and Wallace. They got Man on the bench, Terrence Mann, not Terrence Mann, but
Trey Man, he could
Trey
go. Yeah,
Man.
he from this way.
Yeah, he from this way. Yeah, Trey Man, he hard. I feel like once he going somewhere else, he gonna be crazy. They got they got it. Like they did a great job of putting them all together. It's just who you gonna keep and who you gonna let go.
Sure, definitely. So we do a segment of like this or like that, right? And
here we go.
I got my man TJ gonna throw a few players at you.
So you watch a lot of football?
Yeah.
All right. So my first one is Joe Montana or Tom Brady.
Ooh, that's tough. Oh, that's tough. Man, I'm gonna go with Brady. Yeah.
Can't go wrong with Brady.
All right. Warren Moon or Donovan McNabb.
Ooh, that's tough too. But I'm a Warren Moon guy though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Randall Cunningham or Michael Vick.
Vic. Yeah. I'll go with the Vic.
Mike Beasley or Julius Randle.
Mike Beasley.
Money or morals.
Who?
Money or morals.
Morals.
Morris, huh?
Yeah.
Yo, so look, Beasley or Randall.
Yeah.
Um, why you think Beasley can't? Why you think Beasley Kane is not in the league today?
Once you get a stench on you, it's like having a smell on you. Once you get and a lot of teams ain't gonna take the chance or give you a second chance or give you a third chance. So I feel like it's just a stigma on him that he really couldn't shake, and I think it just stayed on him. And this league is bigger than one person,
Yep.
you know. So it's like deal with this or go and get a young guy that I can tell what to do.
You think he should go over to China and play?
Uh,
He did that.
if
I
you
was over there with him.
yeah, if
So
he
why he
make if
not
it,
there now? What's going on? Why he
Probably just want to get in the league back.
yeah, if it makes
Probably don't care
sense,
no more.
yeah, it got to make sense. Like I wasn't
But that man
going.
big, bro. I didn't realize he like 6'10", 6'9". He big, bro.
Yeah,
With handles or whatever. So I'm like,
yeah, I wasn't
still
going
be playing
overseas. Like
something.
they asked me to go overseas when I retired, and I was like, nah.
Nah. Yeah, that shit ain't for everybody.
Yeah, it just ain't. I don't think it was for me. So I just decided not to.
I was mad. That's why I wanted to go. I was the reason why I went to China after my last year in the league was because I was tired of like being caught up in like rebuilding situations, and I was working on my game too much. So instead of me, even my last year, I could have went to training camp and made somebody team, but I said, man, these people gonna pay me this kind of money. I'm gonna go over here and play and enjoy myself, and show myself, um, and just feel good about all the things I've been working on. Be able to show myself, this, the stuff I've been working on. You know what I mean?
No,
And
That's great that
I
you
feel
said
you
that.
on that.
yeah, so I did that. I did that because of that. And initially, I was actually afraid to go. I didn't want to go for real, but it was like I really just wanted to enjoy hooping. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I went.
I never lost until I got to the league. Like I never had a winning season in the NBA. Every team I went to was rebuilding, starting over,
Hold
and
on, you never lost,
I never won.
or you never won in the league,
Yeah, I
huh?
never won
Mm-hmm.
in the league. I ain't never in my, well, it was just high school and before, but I ain't know what losing was until I got
To the league.
to the league. And then year after losing, like I went from, like I say, we got with the Clippers, they was 18 and 80 out of 82 games before we got there. I got traded to the worst team in the NBA, which was the Cavs. We played a whole year. We won like 18 games. We get LeBron. I got traded to Portland, where they just blew it all up, and it was like a start off. So out of 10 seasons I played, I had 7 different coaches. So it never was a place that I could really get in and get out. So I know that feeling of like, man, I ain't never lost like this.
Right.
And you just tired of losing. And sometimes you get caught up in that. Like Jamal Crawford, he played 11 years before he finally made the playoffs. You know what I'm saying? Like sometimes you get caught up in that spell where it's like, and then sometimes that get a stench on you like it's you.
So we've talked about this a couple of times before, where how in the lead it's like a lot of times your success is about situational, right?
Yeah,
You
it
know,
is.
the organization you get with, the teammates you around,
The role you playing.
the role you play. You know, the lead is like sometimes like if you never played in the league, you don't really understand the the ins and outs of the league. You know, like why you ain't playing? Like, you know what I mean?
I can't even tell you.
You feel me?
Straight up.
Like you can guess and be like, but the lead is so much things.
And sometimes it don't even be your game. It be shit, the money.
The money, right?
This boy getting 26 million a year, man. Boy, you
Right.
getting league
Gotta play.
minimum, man.
Right, right. You
Gotta
about to
play.
sit down,
He
right?
got a guarantee, man. He got a guaranteed 15 shots and 3 turnovers before they
Right.
say something. They say
Nah,
something else.
nah,
What was your
straight up.
favorite city to play in?
Uh, New York Like playing in the Garden is just it's just different. And Chicago, just playing at home. That's the closest one to home. So New York and Chicago be the ones. Like I came in the game playing at Staples Center. I know a lot of guys be like, man, Staples Center is it, or LA is it. But shit, I got in the league playing at Staples Center, so it kind of took that off the map. But New York, it's different.
Especially, yeah.
It's different in New York. The vibe in there is just it's just crazy.
Makes you want to show up.
Yeah.
So you say you never lost till you got to the league, right? So Bass got to ask you a question. Ask him a question.
About
Do you
oh
love?
oh are you do you love to win or do you hate to lose?
I hate to lose.
Why?
Yeah, I hate to lose, man, because when you put blood, sweat, and tears into this, and the result is that you're not winning. Like I said, man, I done been on teams that won 18, 17 games out of 82 games.
How you
That's a
handle that?
lot of fucking
Lose.
losing,
Yeah,
man.
it is. Yep.
You
Like
get numb to it eventually. Yeah.
a lot of nights I handled it with a bottle. Like it's just like I'll just give me a drink and go to sleep. Cause man, some of them nights, man, you lose and 10 in a row, 8 in a row. Yeah, I hate losing.
You hate losing. So, so are you the type of loser that you'll cry to lose? You'll do anything to win?
Yeah, I'll do anything to win.
God, okay.
Like cue my homeboy, but win a championship, boy, I'm dead in this shit.
Oh my God! Right, your boy,
Take a
yeah,
post dead to the face.
yeah.
Hey, we'll talk about it later,
Yeah, I
but
talk about
I'm
that.
winning this chip if I
And
got
you
to
probably
vote.
gonna tell him I'm sorry. I'm sorry, bro.
Probably after the game,
Yeah, I'm
but
sorry.
yeah,
But you tried to do it because you
yeah,
wanted to win.
yeah.
God damn, Q.
If that was the criteria for me to win it, shit.
That's cold
I
blooded
have to
Q,
get on my
man.
man ass, man. Hey, I'll buy him a couple steak dinners, keep the kids or something.
Right.
Hey, find another way to get to him, but yeah, win at all costs.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, we've been going backwards and forth about that, and I feel like it's cool to find out like how like athletes that have been at the highest level how they brain work,
yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Because you see a lot of kids where they lose, they start crying,
yeah,
and they hate to lose,
yeah,
and then there's some people who handle losing with grace. They just love to win. You know what I'm saying?
yeah. Cause that losing shit get contagious. Like it get
Yeah.
contagious. Like I say, man, it's third quarter, we getting blown out. It's like, yeah, what we finna do after this? Like, man, we gonna go out to eat? Like we start talking about, and then it just get contagious. You don't get in the mode. It's hard to stay in kill mode. Like we lost with the Clippers, but we was pushing,
Y'all having fun
getting
though.
better every year, and it was getting
It
fun.
was fun,
You
right?
know what I'm saying? And we was crew tight. I feel like most teams lose because they ain't crew tight. They don't got no type of bond within them.
I just saw
On,
that. I
on
saw
any,
something about Draymond or some athlete was talking about how important it is or
Go
PJ
out.
Tucker was
To go out.
for how important it is for like guys to like PJ was saying on the winning teams that he's been on, like they all hung out together.
yeah,
He knew his kids, but on
yeah.
the teams that they've
It's
been
a
on when they
different type
lose,
of care.
yeah.
It's a different type of thing. You get that in high school, but when you get to a higher level, it's hard to get that. It's hard to be friends with your teammates, and especially on the NBA level, because a lot of us got families. A lot of us is bachelors out here chasing. Like it's a lot of things going on.
Right.
But
Especially in the
when
big
I was
city.
with the Clippers, like we all the same age. We was crew tight. We ate together. My mom used to cook Thanksgiving dinners and stuff. When we went on the road, we got together and went to Cheesecake Factory or Ruth Chris, and or we all go to the movies. Like when you bonding like that or you doing stuff, that's what I was used to. When I got to Cleveland, it wasn't.
So the thing,
I make it a
Cheesecake
purpose for
Factory.
every team I get on to go over their
I can
house or
speak
do
on that.
something with every player just to get that bond with them. And sometimes that don't roll over to everybody else. You know?
You think I feel like in the league it's usually because of that age gap. it's like, you may come in at 25, but you playing with somebody that's 32,
Yeah.
and he married with the kids. You know what I'm saying? I feel like sometimes that messes with chemistry. But like on the teams that I played with that had great chemistry, it was because we had great leaders. Like the best player kind of led everything,
Yeah.
made sure we hung out on the road. Um, was kind of like a coach off the court too, like a coach on the
Yeah.
floor too. Um, so it's a lot of things that come into play, but I feel like it's a culture though, because I was lucky enough to play with pretty much all good teams. I ain't, my worst teams was probably my first year. I played with New Orleans
Mm-hmm.
in '05. I don't know if you remember around the time
Yeah.
Chris Paul rookie
Yeah.
year, and we was like borderline playoff team.
Mm-hmm.
But every year after that, nah. I played on some fucking rebuilding teams too. Nah, I played on some teams that was bad, that was worse than that. But it usually starts with like my teams with like Boston, like KG
Yeah.
um, was the leader of the team, man, and KG was like a coach, in the locker room, on the plane, on the
Mm.
court, and everybody kind of fell in line, and it was great chemistry, man.
Yeah.
And
You don't. If you don't got that, it's how we gonna win?
yeah. But you know what I felt like when you was the Clippers, like y'all was losing, but I feel like y'all was a vibe though.
Yeah.
Because, I don't know if it's because y'all was just so young and energetic.
Yeah. That's what it was. We like, man. We was young. We was out there trying to prove ourselves every night.
Mm-hmm.
We was hungry. All of us wanted it.
Mm-hmm.
And like I said, if your core players is the youngest players in the league, you want it like that.
Mm-hmm.
And we was in an older league, so we was trying to prove ourselves every night and playing a style of basketball that a lot of people weren't playing.
Mm-hmm. And you was playing the four,
I
right?
was playing the four,
So you was playing against some monsters.
like Malone and man Ticket, Rasheed,
Who was the
Weber,
top five
top five.
forwards you had to go against during that time?
Whoa. See, they used to put me on everybody. So I used to play Kobe. I used to play T Mac. Have to play Spreewell and all them guys, but then
Sprewell
we'll
was
go
that dude.
small, and I have to
Play the four.
guard Rasheed or KG or Weber.
Okay.
So it
All
was
right.
like they had me all over. I might be guarding the point guard all the way down to the four.
All right.
Bro, I gotta ask this question, bro. LeBron or Kobe?
Who?
LeBron
Or
or
Kobe?
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 LeBron or Jordan?
Jordan?
Cool.
We on the same page.
Yeah, we all on the same page.
Why? But
What
why though? Just explain to the people why.
Just the mentality, the killer instinct in them.
Thank you.
The 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 no games played with them.
Mm-hmm.
Like yeah, it's just the aggression out of them.
Mm-hmm.
Like none against LeBron. LeBron is all world.
Mm-hmm.
He deserves everything he's getting. Man, he deserves to even be mentioned with them
Mm-hmm.
guys. Now he
Mm-hmm.
deserves all that.
Mm-hmm.
But who I like and who I go with is just them.
For sure.
Speaking of young teams, what are your thoughts on the home team?
Oh, I
Orlando
love
Magic.
them. Love the Magic. Uh, love the Anthony Black kid. Love they picks. I love Jet Howard. But Pablo, France, uh,
The chosen one.
just the whole squad is just they got talent from front
Yeah,
front to back.
they
Like
do.
I love the
Just cause, bro, when they come down to them executing at the end of the game, they don't have no
who they going
point
to.
guard. Yeah, you don't have no point guard that's gonna set some shit up, and then your go to guy is Paolo, but
He just
your
hit a game
young boy.
winner.
But I
Yeah,
like they
okay.
go like I like
I'm cool.
I like
Trying to do that shit.
Martell.
Markel Fultz.
Yeah, I like Markel. Like I like the young fella Anthony Black.
Who's thinking the game for them though? Who's orchestrating everything out there for them?
They don't have that yet.
That's what I'm saying. You need that when the playoffs come.
I
Yeah,
mean, we're
but
talking about
let me
making the
ask you this
playoffs.
though. Let me ask you this.
I ain't say
You-
win the
If
series.
everybody don't have the player that making the decisions for them. But if you got France and you got Pablo who they say is top 50 players in this league. So sometimes you don't that just might be something that's just
gonna
that
do
one
their
of them
team
gonna figure it
lacking
out.
They gonna do it.
in the point. But they have to step their game up. You know, everybody not fortunate to have a point guard. That's like the hardest position to get.
They
Something
ain't
going on.
fortunate to have a point guard, but you're also fortunate to have somebody that can make the decision though, and or put the ball in their hands and say,
They
okay,
pulling it in Paulo hands.
give us something.
Yeah,
They
they
put
put
it in
in
his
Pablo
hands.
hand
friends.
last
Okay.
night.
Yeah, they put it in his hands, and he the one
But
gonna make
like
the
I
play
say,
down
I'm
the
a
stretch.
Markel Fultz fan. Like I love Markel Fultz. I feel like he didn't get a first shake. Uh, like I was in Portland. Like I was in that area. I paid attention to him in college. I thought he was really gonna be good. And then when I see him in the league, I still think he's good. I think mentally he went through a up and down.
Yeah.
But I like Markel's folks. And like I said, I like the draft pick. Like Anthony Black is he like a 6'4" point guard. You know what I'm saying? He nice to me. So I'm looking forward to him to getting a little bit more experience too.
When you say mentally, like you say, like Mikael Folks, uh, how he went through his struggles early on in the league.
Yeah.
Did did uh did anything mental affect you? You know, when you was coming through the league or on your
I
journey?
was good all the way until I got injured.
Mm-hmm.
Like I was good, but I ain't once you a superhero, as we so called be, once you
Yep.
get injured, it's like, man, you took a power away from me.
Mm-hmm.
So I was kind of good mentally until I got injured. Then that made me start kind of questioning and seeing that not really like I second guessed it, but I felt my body wasn't doing the same thing that it was doing before. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I was good until I got it started being a more of a mental game for me personally when I got hurt.
Because you because of what you didn't think that you was gonna ever play be the same or what? What was it? What
No,
was it?
just like I grew up hoop. I never really did the gym, like because it's two processes for you to be better. Like I can go in the gym and I can go pick up, or we can play or do drills all day, but I never did the weight room. I never went in the weight room. I never did that type of work to get right. So you got to be mentally ready to exercise and work out or get in the weight room and do that. You think because you go in the weight room, you do a couple of leg, you know what I'm saying, a couple of up and downs and all that, like, oh yeah, I'm strong, I'm good, I don't got to go back. No, it's a process, and I never went through that process until I got hurt. So that was the mental process that I had to go to. And then like having microfracture surgery, knees just won't work. Your body don't feel, you know how it is. When you come to the league, your body ain't felt 100 since then. Like
Right.
it's hard to keep your body at 100 where you really feeling it, because we all have like war wounds or knickknacks. So that's when it started getting like a mental thing to me.
Like as far as like being like depressed about it?
Yeah, being depressed, mentally with your team, it's just a whole mental health. You stress, you depressed, you have anxiety, like all these things that I never knew about. Like it never was I never had a conversation or it was explained to me. Like, you know, back in the day, if you felt anything and it wasn't tough, especially as being a man, it was like you crazy.
Yep.
So to understand, looking back on it, to understand, like, man, you was so depressed or you was so stressed or you had so much anxiety in you. And sometimes a lot of these kids have so much anxiety or stress in them, it's hard for them to perform the right way or have a clear mind of to do what they need to do.
Yep. Yeah. I uh I struggled with that at one point. Like I remember when I entered the draft. So I entered the draft my freshman year,
Mm-hmm.
and then I worked out for like 20 some teams, but ended up going back to college.
Mm-hmm.
And then I entered the draft again. So I was freshman of the year, then player of the year,
Mm-hmm.
and my stock didn't improve. So, but I was like, man, I ain't going back to school.
Mm-hmm.
I'm
Go
gonna enter
back.
the draft and
Yeah.
go prove myself. But like I remember during that process, I remember I used to go to barbershop a lot. I used to go to barbershop like a couple times a week,
Mm-hmm.
and I couldn't sit still in the chair. I just it was like it was just bothering me about the draft process that So I knew it was like I was developing. I didn't know it then, but I'm saying like now I know it was anxiety.
Mm-hmm.
I was thinking so much about the future,
Mm-hmm.
you know. And like I feel like as far as like depression, like I look at it like it's people thinking about they past. So it's like you know I think it's important to talk about it but in a way of how you be better from it,
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like to be better from it is about being in the moment and making the best of the moment.
Mm-hmm.
And because like you saying, like, kids not being able to play well is because you not in the moment
Mm-hmm.
and you not yourself.
Not yourself.
You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
I noticed in my career, like when I was playing and when I was worried and shit, like when you in the gym practicing by yourself, you ain't worried about shit.
Ain't nothing.
You know what I'm saying? You ain't worried about the past, you ain't worried about the future. So if you get in the game and you worried about any one of those, you ain't yourself and you can't perform at the highest level as you can. And I think it's important for kids to know that, and just people in general to know, like, it's ways to kind of deal with anxiety or depression versus just falling victim to it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'm just glad the conversation out there.
Mm-hmm.
Like I say, in my era, it was you was considered crazy, or you couldn't be nothing but tough.
Mm-hmm.
And I tell kids now, like it's hard for a man to be vulnerable to another man. You know
Mm-hmm.
what I'm saying? It's hard for a man to show vulnerability because the first thing he'll think, oh, he think I'm weak
Mm-hmm.
or so forth on. Because a lot of us didn't grow up with daddies or had a man in our house that you can be vulnerable with. But speaking on it, like I love when Kevin Love did it. I love when DeMar DeRozan did it. I love how the NBA embraced it, and
Mm-hmm.
they got a paid doctor for every team that don't have nothing to do with the team that you can go and just have a conversation with just to talk out some of the stuff that you need to talk out. Like I say, I never heard about it until I got older,
Mm-hmm.
till I went through depression. Like my mom passed away. Like I say, that was my everything, and I went in a shell. You know what
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying? I went in a shell to the point where my phone was giving me anxiety. My phone used to be like, when my phone rang, it was like, man, what now? Because it was like so many things was happening. Every time I heard my phone ring, it gave me anxiety because it was just like, what kind of bad news is finna come now?
Mm-hmm.
After my mom passed away, it's just the depression. I felt lonely. I felt, even though I had people who still love me and care about me, but it's just the lonely feeling that I had over me.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't understand what it was. So I had to kind of go through it in the sense of bumping your head to really realize, like, oh shit, that's what it is.
Mm-hmm.
Because my confidence was through the roof. I never really lacked confidence, especially if I always had that one person that believed in me. But when you think it can't happen to you, it might take something to trigger it. It might
Mm-hmm.
be a coach. It might be you losing somebody. It
Mm-hmm.
might be somebody's death. It might be your relationship. You never know what it is that you'll go through that'll trigger depression, stress, or anxiety.
Nah, I'm with you. My mom passed from a heart attack too, but I was real young. Um, but I was telling these boys, like, for me it was just I felt like I was so young, um, and I felt like I was lucky to be like kind of numb to it, like
Mm-hmm.
as a kid. But like when I got older, I had pockets of when I felt, you know what I mean, I really felt it. And, you know, you kind of miss, you know, having that, uh, because we was talking about like, you know, you can't replace that.
Bro, they don't know until you lose it.
You know what I'm saying?
You don't know how to
Like,
lose your mom until you lose it.
you feel me? Like
Yeah.
you know, like the woman that don't judge you,
Yeah.
got your back regardless.
Yeah.
You know, it's nothing like it. So, you know, I
A lot
just
of
felt like, you know, I was lucky enough to I don't know, to be able to handle it, to be kind of numb to it early,
yeah.
and
But
yeah,
over in life, you see your friends, you
yep,
see your girl, you see like they parents,
yep,
Mother's Day,
yep,
birthdays,
mm-hmm,
like straight triggering that you don't even know because you kind of shunned it off. But like a couple of my guys that I grew up with, they moms then passed.
mm-hmm.
One of the things we bonded with
Is that
is our mom passed because we can look at each other and know that feeling
mm-hmm,
of like how that feel. Like I didn't understand my homeboy when he told me at first his mom passed before mine. He was like, "Yeah, man, you ain't gonna understand it until you don't have your mama." And people with they parents in their life or still have their mama, they don't understand it. You
mm-hmm.
can't understand it until you don't have your mama no more.
Yeah, definitely. That's why I always, whenever we talk like this, I always tell people, I encourage people, like, you don't take your parents for granted. You know what I'm saying? Um, like I had a teammate, I was telling them one episode, like, my man had everybody, bro. Man had his mom, his dad, his grandmother, grandfather, his other grandfather, I mean grandmother, but he was just missing his grandfather died. So that was the one part of his family he was missing, his grandfather. But everybody else supported him, you know, when we was young in the NBA. And that was something that bothered me a little bit. So like that's when I say I had my little pockets. If I saw that, I'd be like, damn.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? But
yeah, I still do it. Like I say, to this
yeah.
day, I feel it. Everybody in the house I grew up with has passed away. My
Mm,
grandmother, my granddad, and my mom. So, you know, with my old lady, like it'd be, you know, we around her mom and her dad, and friends that still have their mom and their dad. Like it get crazy. You definitely feel some type of way, not
for
in a
sure.
way that you need to express it to the person just for having theirs, but man, I definitely feel it because, like I say, my mama was my favorite girl.
Mm, for sure.
You got kids?
Yeah,
How many?
8.
8 kids?
Yeah,
Girls?
uh, 4 girls, 4 boys.
Do you feel love from the girls that is as if it was your mom?
Nah,
No.
nah. I think I loved them as if it was my mom,
Mm.
but I don't think they understand that. You know,
Yeah.
kids these days are different.
They're older now.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, man. And he messed my train of thought when he said that. But yeah, you got a gang, man.
yeah,
You got a basketball
yeah. We
squad.
10 deep.
You
We
got
10
three off
deep.
the bench.
Yeah, we 10 deep.
You got 10 deep, dog.
Yeah, we 10 deep.
Yeah. So, you know what I want to say? Nah, I wanted to say like for anybody who dealing with anything, to me, the best thing you could do is stay busy. You know what I'm
Stay
saying?
busy.
Yeah, stay busy. Like I feel like to occupy your mind. You
Mm.
know what I mean? Like for me, like for example, like I don't know. Let's say I'm going through something today. Like if I get up and go to the gym, you know, I might forget about it for a little bit, at least for a little bit. You know what I mean? And if I, and then by the time 3, 4 o'clock hit, my son get off school and I go train with him or something. And you know what I'm saying? Just stuff to keep you in the moment. And um, I feel like it's important just to stay busy versus just sitting down and just thinking so much about
Yeah,
everything.
I agree with that.
You know what I
It's,
mean?
I'm a, you know, like I'm a thinker, a deep thinker. I be trying to think about how to strategically make it better and so forth on, but you got to address it. I feel like that's the biggest thing. Going through therapy and going to have conversations with people, you got to address it.
Mm-hmm.
People think because you go to a therapist that you crazy or something
Mm-hmm.
like that,
Mm-hmm.
but sometimes that can give you an understanding that you just can't get from somebody else that's around you that you know.
Mm-hmm.
So I think the best bet for a lot of these people, a lot of people in general, is just to go and talk to people. Don't be so afraid to talk to somebody. Like it's hard for us to communicate with each other as a family member, let
Yeah.
alone
Mm-hmm.
somebody we don't know.
Mm-hmm. So I was just talking to D Hess and we was talking about like a lot of times people, you know, when you have played to a certain level, like a lot of people don't understand you and stuff like that. So I feel like it's important for us to build with each other because like a lot of times we be going through the same thing and we could kind of be each other's therapists.
Mm-hmm.
You
It's
know what I
definitely
mean?
true.
So I think that's cool. But like during your playing career though, you had some incredible moments, man. Um, the moments you come off the bench, man, and you have 47.
Mm-hmm.
What inspired that night for you?
Mm. Mm. It was end of a bad season. Uh, really wasn't getting along with what was going on. Our GM became our head coach.
Who was that? Mo Cheeks, right? Who was that?
No, it was Kevin Pritchard.
Kevin Pritchard.
They
Okay.
fired Cheeks, and Kevin Pritchard was the GM, and he became the coach. I had a bad night. I didn't play, but it was just a bad night in Golden State before, so I kind of got in some type of little trouble. But then we played in Denver, and the coaching staff came to me. All right, well, just show me everything you got tonight. Just show it to me tonight. Blah this, blah that. So shit, I got out there and shit. It was feeling good. What was crazy, I had like 27, 28 at halftime. They didn't even start me the second half.
Damn.
Like Sharif got ejected, so they they played me.
Mm-hmm.
So I wound up ending with 47.
Cooking that night.
Yeah, going through one. It was crazy night, especially in Denver. I always liked playing in Denver. That was like one of the first places I played when I first got to the league.
You might be the only person that like playing in Denver.
Yeah, Denver always was just good to me. I
Uh,
always got a good beat up on Denver.
I couldn't breathe when I was in Denver, man.
I never really felt that. I never
Yeah,
really
the
felt it.
altitude.
Yeah, I never really felt it like that.
Mm-hmm. Uh, Tony, you got something for D Miles, right?
What's going on with you now? Like life after retire outside of the podcast.
Uh, I do the podcast. I throw high school events every year where I have high schools come from all across the country and put them in like a classic, like a little turn. Well, not really a tournament, but match them up and play with each other. Like 2 years out of like 2 weekends out of the year. I have one in Augusta in December that I'm throwing. I do the Allen Iverson Classic every year with all the All Americans. I have my own tech company called Impressive Event Solutions. Just moving around, staying out of trouble, talking to a lot of kids, talking about financial literacy, talking about a bunch of stuff.
Speaking of that, I obviously, I mean, do you feel we're in a recession, or is it coming still?
Uh, I don't know. I don't really be paying attention to everybody's money like that, so I just pay
I mean,
attention to
with the
mine.
economy and everything, because I know you went through something. You know what I mean in that time, like with bankruptcy and everything. Like, what led you to that? Like, what was that time like?
I think what led me to bankruptcy is just not having the proper knowledge about money, the way money works. Not speaking on it. Like we can all be in a household with our parents, whether you have your daddy and your mama or both, or either or. But we never have a conversation about financial literacy. We never have a conversation about how you pay your bills, how important credit is, uh, the way you supposed to go about paying your bills, and what you're doing. So I think with me, it was just a lack of knowledge. I didn't have the knowledge of that. Like I was a millionaire when I was 18. It instantly turned into financial people that
Right.
handle your bills and pay your bills. Like I didn't know until I kind of lost everything. My mama died. It was like, oh, you gotta pay your bills on. Like you get penalized.
Right.
Like, oh, if I don't pay this bill, if I don't pay this water bill this month, like they ain't gonna trip. I'm paid in 5 days. They ain't gonna. They add an
It's
extra $50.
crazy.
You know what
It
I'm
just
saying?
adds
Like,
up, and next you know you're
Hey,
swimming.
yeah,
You're
like
swimming at that point.
you don't know that. Like we got guys even in the league. Like you don't have to pay that 350,000 or that 400,000 for the Rolls Royce. Like why not just put money down on it and all that? But in our culture, it's talk like, oh, bro, you don't got the
Cash,
paperwork for that,
cash,
man. You don't
cash
really
out.
own that.
Yeah.
You don't
You know
cash
what I'm
no,
out.
no,
Show
saying?
me
no,
So
the
for
pay
sure.
slip.
this is what we teach.
Right.
Like
It's kind of stupid, but
yeah,
yeah.
it is, but this is just our coaching what it is. If we don't get the proper knowledge where somebody telling you like that's just not smart to sit here. I know you can have the Rolls Royce, but why not just put 30,000 down? Like your credit is through the roof. They don't know that you can walk in there with good credit and get you a house. You can go with good credit and get you a car. These are things that we'll sit 18 years in the house with our parents and never have a conversation about it. So I just try to do it with my kids and kids that I talk to before we start talking basketball or any of that stuff. If you want to help your kid out, if you feel like your kid going pro and all that, the best thing you can do is get yourself some financial literacy to know what to do with the money. But I feel like guys like LeBron has showed us, like, yeah, you can have your homeboys with you, but you got to know how to structure it to a point where they can make their own money themselves instead of it coming out your pocket.
Everybody playing a position.
Yeah.
Everybody playing a position.
Yeah, you know what? Every time I see some people, right, and they ask me about a player who's struggling financially, lost some money, I always try to, I always have empathy for the player because I try to explain to them that, most people that makes money like in like a doctor, a lawyer, like they able to make 100,000 to 500,000 for 30, 40 years. But we make a lump sum of money for 5 to
Short
10
time,
years.
yeah.
So it's like, and we not even thinking about 50 years later. So it's one of those things that, yeah, financial literacy is important because, us as, 18-year-olds that comes from nothing, parents come from nothing, they can't teach us nothing for real. So we actually learning on the fly. They actually learning on the fly about all this stuff, and sometimes it's a little too late. So I just feel like, to me, I feel like it's important to have empathy for people that lose
Yeah,
out.
I definitely do.
But also, it's also important to educate people so that people don't go through the same go down the same path as certain other people when it comes to
Yeah, and I'll
finance.
say this: a lot of these sports people, they not losing this money because they didn't sit here and just spent it directly just on themselves.
Yeah, yeah,
Like
Right.
it's so many people they helped out as
yeah.
well as doing the stuff they sell that is that. It's just like no, they don't have nobody ever. It's generation. I don't even blame their parents. I don't blame their grandmama. It's generations of
Yep.
generations of generations that don't know nothing about financial literacy. It's guys that got millions of dollars right now that don't know nothing about.
Don't know how to make it more. Just
Yeah,
sitting on it.
don't know what to do. All they can do is spend
Right.
and sit on it. A lot of guys who go into business and like their business just not smart and
And they fail.
they fumble on the business. A lot of guys not coming together because like you look at this, right? You got 12, 13 players in the NBA locker room. All of them make millions of dollars. They not had one conversation about business.
Getting some money together.
No one conversation about, hey, let's build this rec center or let's build this gym or let's do this business. And it be a proper, legit business of what they got. They don't have that. You got 13 guys in the locker room that's making millions of dollars. And it's never be a conversation. When you see these guys talk about their businesses, you never see, oh, it's 5 of them. It's 6 of them. It's a whole
It's true,
coach.
man.
Like
It's
so
about
my
some
thing
chicks.
right now, I'll be open and honest. I don't care about like what people thoughts is and what they think. I don't live off that. My thing is I'm old enough to now you gotta pass it down. You gotta tell them what's up. Like get you some financial literacy. Whether you get it from me or you go to a class or you want to get it anywhere, just to know because you have a chance. Like guys be spending their money and they don't even know they don't even have to spend their money. Like even guys that on the down end, they be going the whole load. You paying the whole thing for a Rolls Royce. something that ain't gonna even, if you drive it too much, it ain't gonna even be the same in 4 years.
Right.
It ain't gonna be the
It don't
same
hold no
anyway. Right,
value
right,
when
right.
when it
Yeah.
pull off the lot. But these are the things that we just don't know. It's a lot of stuff that I didn't know, and a lot of stuff that it turned into depression and stress. Like I beat myself up about that shit. Like not knowing what the fuck was going on.
Yep.
Cause you think, oh, you got $1 million, you got money, I know everything.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not just your ego just getting stroked, but the people around you. People
Yes, sir.
around you think, or people out there, the fans or whoever they are, they think because you got money, you just a smart motherfucker. Like you know everything.
Right.
Right.
Like that's not the case. There's a lot of dumb rich motherfuckers out here.
Right.
No, but
Like
and then it's set up for you to stay dumb.
yeah.
Cause you out the gate, you got an agent, you got a financial advisor, you got
You everybody doing
all these
everything
people.
for
You
They
know what I'm
need
saying?
you to
And you
even
paying
fuck
all
up
them
so you
that
can
money
pay
to
paying
them.
all
do
them.
yeah.
And then so it's
No, they
like,
don't really need you to fuck up. They know you gonna fuck up. Like,
yeah,
I don't gotta force it on
yeah,
you.
yeah.
Like I know you don't know, and you're not even seeking to know. So my thing is to just tell them like, hey, get you some financial literacy. That's the first thing. And like even with families, when I tell these when I have meetings with these parents and I'll be around these parents of these kids that be future draft picks or future superstar, the first thing you can do is get you some financial literacy because y'all finna get a access to some money that none of y'all ever had a day in y'all life. Y'all don't know how to do it. Y'all don't know how to make it grow. Y'all don't know how to not ask for anything. Like us as black dudes, like when you see black dudes in the league, the first thing they say they buy their mama a car, they buy my dad a house, buy my mama a house and all that. But you see any other race that's in the league, they not buying their
None of
mama no
that.
house. They not getting their mama cars. They not doing the overload shit.
Bruh.
Some shit in our culture need to be broke.
Yeah.
We could break it right now.
You
We're
know
gonna
what I'm
start right
saying?
now.
It
Right.
need to be broke,
Yeah.
and it just need to be taught. Yeah, you can do that for your mama, but it's a proper way to do it
Right.
for your mama. Because when you don't have that money, not only do your house go, your mama house go.
Yeah.
Right.
You know what I'm
It never
saying? And
lasts.
like I say, my
Never
thing
lasts.
was it was a lack of. I went through the thing with my mama, and I was definitely depressed, stressed, anxiety, the whole nine. But the lack of knowledge about life, how life works, how the world go around, what you supposed to do. Like I tell my kids to live by yourself, you got to be able to pay your rent, you got to be able to pay taxes, you got to be able to pay your cell phone bill, you got to
Shit
eat,
expensive, bruh.
Car.
and you got to pay for a car. So
Tell
that's
them.
5 different things that you have to pay for before anything. Like you don't know. Like if I get a check for 20,000, I don't get the whole 20,000.
Right.
You see 20,000, be like, oh shit, I'm gonna spend the whole 20,000. I'm gonna spend 5 on this 5. What happened to Uncle Sam?
Yep.
You need his cut.
Yep. He got to get his.
What happened to your light bill?
Yeah.
Your water bill, plus your rent. That's 3 different things on one. Like it don't get broke down and it don't be like, you know what I'm saying, emphasized. And then like it's not nobody's fault. Cause it's generations of
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. That
Right.
it's definitely.
It's generations. Nobody's
Right.
fault. You can't
Yep.
blame your mom. You can't blame. No, it's nobody's fault.
But you can't. They were never taught that. And
Yeah.
then you look at like for instance, white kids, right? Bro, they'll stay in their parents' house till they fucking 30 years old.
Yeah.
And when they get out, when they move out, but they got a down payment for their house, and ain't none of that shit. Our parents, you gotta hurry up and get the fuck out of my house.
Yeah.
That was always our parents trying to push because they mom and dad did the same shit to them, but not understanding that you putting your kids in debt by forcing them to get out. They struggling to pay their rent, struggling to get a car, this, that, and the third, and then here they go.
Cycle.
Yeah, it's a fucking
It's just like
generational cycle.
throwing them in the pit. Cause
Yeah.
like we don't know. You be shielded from it so much that once you get in, it's like, man, it just threw me off in the deep end. I didn't know it
Yeah.
was like this out here.
Yeah.
Like
You know what it is too. Is to me it's kind of like where we come from. It's like people are taught to survive versus thrive.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying? Like basically what you was saying is kind of survival mode, and what TJ basically saying is like, okay, when there's certain cultural, like when white folks have their kid, they may let them stay until they really prepared to go out into the world so they could thrive in the world. usually our parents and great grandparents, we've been surviving our whole life. All they know is to pass it down to survival mode for you. You know what I'm saying? And it just for us, we know better. We do better now. We teach the kids that are coming up.
Yeah.
Uh, to thrive versus just survive. You know what I'm saying? And you got to be educated in several arenas of life versus just one thing,
Yeah.
versus just hoop. Being an educated hooper, you got to be educated in your finances and be educated in being able to have a family,
Yeah.
being able to be able to to build a family, like
Yeah, what
mom,
it
dad.
takes.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
what it takes. Like my one of my things too is like, man, we grow up and you see families that have it be six of them, six brothers and sisters, daddy, mama. Nobody had a conversation about owning shit.
Mm-hmm.
Like we ain't had no conversation like about owning nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Like we could all put our money together and we can own something for ourselves.
And eat forever.
Other
But
races do that
you
though.
don't need, yeah, you don't
They do
have a
that.
conversation about owning nothing. It's just like little conversations like that 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 intrigues me. Like I'm so happy I went through. Like I don't want nobody to go through a bankruptcy, but I'm happy for me because it made me get off my ass and get the knowledge of everything that I got going on business wise. Like
So look, before you should go on, it's like that winning and losing thing we talked
yeah,
about. It's like if you didn't lose, if you didn't fail, you don't go chase that. You
you
don't
gonna go
learn that.
chase it. Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? And
yeah.
I think that's the dope part of learning from failure. But you don't want nobody to go through that. But if that's what it takes for you to be, to have a brighter future than what you already have, then cool.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's definitely that. Like, I'm just big on just passing down the knowledge within families. Like, cause we don't got that. You be taught a certain way, or you think certain ways, and it'll be that. Like all the cars I done had, man, I done had about 12 cars over my about 12, 15 cars over my 10 years in the league. I outright played all of them.
Wow.
Like
Yeah,
every last one
yeah,
of them. Like
yeah,
outright played the
yeah.
Rolls, the
Leverage nothing.
Bentley, the
Leverage nothing.
the 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 Benz, the like everything that I outright paid it because that was our culture. Like, oh, you ain't gonna
And
catch me, nah, bro. I own this.
so look, the like
Can't
we, I,
catch
I
me.
was talking to a friend of mine, and we talked about how like, you know, how like, how things are cool, and then things are corny.
Mhm.
A lot of times, the things that are corny is really the things that are cool.
Mhm.
We might laugh at a guy who leasing his car, or leasing something else, or not spending this much on a watch, or not, you know what I'm saying? But those are the things we need to make cool. Not caring about somebody what other people think, because I feel like that's what influenced like us so much as a culture. Like like damn, he doing this, shit, I should do it.
Mhm.
Like being on even like being on a team with players who making so much more than you. You think you need to have what he have,
Mhm.
like um, so I just think we need to create as individuals what's cool for real
Yeah.
for you as an individual.
How much of that do you blame on hip hop?
I don't blame. I mean, it's kind of the blame
This
is
is what they rap.
everything.
Yeah, what they
Is
rap
Yeah.
about.
everything. It
Right?
starts in the home
The
first.
lifestyle.
No, but check me out. It starts in the home first. It starts when you go outside. It starts when you turn the TV on, watch movies. It's everything impacts you. But I just feel like it's important um, to self-reflect and understand. It's your job to make certain things cool because you ultimately you responsible if you have money or not.
Yeah. I can't.
But think about it with me, right? Like I honestly feel like if I didn't grow up in the hood, I may not turn out the way I was. Like if I typically grew up where most typical Asians are, if I grew up in a white neighborhood or a Spanish neighborhood, I might have been influenced a different way. And I feel like growing in the hood, that it caused me to be, like jewelry, like you mean music, like the materialistic things. It's like I understand the culture, so it's almost like I feel like that was a big. Maybe it's the music.
I don't think
I don't
no. I
know.
don't think it's that because like it's just the knowledge of it. Like you can like jewelry, you can like earrings, you can like that, but It's the knowledge of how to accumulate it.
Mm.
It's the knowledge of how to get it, what way to get it, how,
Right. Okay.
like the structure of it. Like,
Right.
man, if you work hard to get you a chain and so
You
forth
deserve
on,
it.
you
Mm.
deserve
Right.
you deserve to have that, and that's just not coming from hip hop. I think it's a generational in your family thing. If
Mm-hmm.
your family haven't grown up in that area or in that sector, you growing up a certain way.
Yep. I
If
agree.
everybody around me is not like I say, I'm from a small hood town. It's not a lot of people who have made it out of there or came out of there the most successful. But the ones who have, it's a needle in a haystack type thing.
Right.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? And people is not giving the knowledge up. They're not giving you the game to make money.
Mm-hmm.
Just imagine if everybody had money, then what? You feel like everything can still be going on the way it's going? If all us had bread?
Nope, it wouldn't. Cause I look at it like this. Everything is a gift and a curse. Which means like if you come up in the hood, your gift may be you may be tough, in certain areas. And growing up in the gated community, you may have financial literacy, but you're gonna lack something. So it's like it's always one of those. It's always a thing where you got to constantly like. I feel like uh, my man always say my man Max always say know what you don't know, because if you know what you don't know, you know what you need to improve on. You understand what I'm saying? So growing up in the hood, if you know you lack financial literacy at some point of time, that's what you need to improve
Yeah,
on. You know what I'm
most
saying?
definitely.
Growing up in the gated community, if you know you lack in toughness, you need to go off in this other neighborhood and I need to go play and compete with these guys
Right.
and
Get
develop
a
that.
dog.
Because it's no perfect place to grow up in, or no perfect environment to grow up in. You know
Yeah,
what I'm saying?
I don't blame hip hop. I rarely blame hip hop because if you blame hip hop, you gotta blame movies, you gotta blame
Yeah.
books, you gotta blame.
It's your
It's
environment.
so
More
much
your
stuff you
environment.
gotta blame, and I think the scapegoat always be hip hop. They said like, oh, hip hop influenced the guys that in the league that wear the stuff that we was wearing back in the day. Remember, they made a rule for us to start wearing
Yeah.
suits.
Yep. I remember that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, you want us to come to a gym in suits? We come in the hoop.
Right.
Like,
And now it's back.
I
You
feel
don't
like
have to
it's to
wear
the
it
choice.
anymore.
But now you look at the kids now, like they have the cameras ready for these guys to walk in and see what they got
Right.
on fashion wise.
Right. Now they
Some
want
of
to
these
see what they
guys
have.
wear dresses walking in.
Right.
Some of these guys wear
Russ. Shout
what
out D
like
Wade.
they
Yeah.
wear like whatever fashion thing they do. That's their own business. But I'm just saying, like you influencing the fashion, and all other guys used to do was wear throwback jerseys, a hat, and some baggy jeans.
You know what I think? What I think that the league finally found the way to monetize it though, like to partner with fashion brands, and I just think that the guys the league has found uh they have made it cool though. I felt like early on they didn't understand the kids fresh out the neighborhood dress
Yeah,
code, because like
chains and stuff like that.
yeah.
Like it's just instantly look. We so quick to just blame hip hop for everything, and man, music. I don't just say want to say hip hop music, man. You can always find a song that you can relate to, where you relate to the chorus or you relate to a line that he said.
Mm-hmm.
It's therapeutic.
Yep.
You know what I'm
Yep.
saying? Depending on what you listen to. So I can't add music to us being the way
Influence.
we are.
Mm-hmm.
It's the culture we grew up in and what it is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and more the environment.
Yeah, more than environment.
Um, what's the best piece of advice you received?
I used to see this meme before I started the podcast. I used to see this meme all the time. They used to say, to take another step up in life, you have to do something that makes you uncomfortable. What used to make me uncomfortable a lot was cameras and microphones.
Mm-hmm.
Come from the hood, no hood dudes like cameras and microphones, like you've been
Police.
interrogated.
Right, right, right. Mm-hmm.
But I used to see that meme all the time, and when this opportunity became itself, I didn't want to do the cameras. I didn't want to really do cameras and microphones, but I knew this. It felt like this was the step I needed to take forward to take another step up in life. So now I'm looking for that next step now.
Yeah. Congrats.
Something you wish you was better at.
Uh, Something I wish I was better than that. Financial literacy. I wish I was better at that. Knowing how to lead my family in the right direction. You know, I always can get better than that.
Best perk of being D Miles. Like, what's the perk of being you?
Just the love. I think that's the best perk. The love that people show me when I walk through airports or I go different places. Just the love, the appreciation of me doing what I did.
Knuckleheads.
Guilty pleasure.
Mm. Guilty pleasure. One of my guilty pleasures, man, that's a hard one. I don't know. I can't.
You know,
Yeah, I can't.
a person you would love to trade places with for a day, or trade lives with for a day.
Mm. If I had to trade life with somebody,
Just for a day.
Michael Jordan.
MJ,
Yeah, I'd
MJ
rather be
two for
MJ
two,
for a
dog.
day.
2 for 2 today. MJ,
Yeah.
the GOAT.
Okay. What success look like to you?
Uh, Doing what makes you comfortable. That's what success look like to me. Like some people is comfortable in $100,000 house. Some people comfortable in a couple of $1 million house. Whatever makes you comfortable, where you comfortable in life. That's what
That success
success
is,
to me
yeah.
is.
Hmm. Um, the legendary head tap.
Mm-hmm.
Where this
What
come from, man?
When my rookie year, I'm fresh out of high school, so I was still into the high school games and into it. And Trevor Ariza and Taps and Hassan Adams, they all played for Westchester High
I remember
School.
that.
And
Uh-huh.
I used to go to their games. And one of the guys on their staff, he was a Q dog, and
Yeah.
everybody used to try to throw up the Q dog and all that stuff. But he used to say that you can't throw up the Q fully until you was a full Q. So he used to have the high school guys on the team doing that. So every time they had a dunk or they celebrated, they whole team used to do it. So we'd be at the game and they asked us like, "Hey man, can we come to the game?" So we got the team the tickets, and they was like, "Yeah, when y'all do something, do this." So we did it. So after that game, nothing next game, we didn't really do it. But the fans, the Clipper fans, was like, hold up, hold up. We want y'all to do what y'all did last game when it was hype. So ever since then, they kind of requested for us to do it. And what's crazy is me and Q, we used to play around with it, but like, man, we'd have to kill you or kidnap you or something if we told you what it mean or something like that. But we never really told nobody what it mean. And 23 years later or 25 years, or 20 years later, man, we come back to it now and it's kind of full circle all the way around to now so we can kind of explain the story and we start the podcast with it. So and it definitely was a dope thing.
Right. What would you say? Did y'all give it a meaning?
Huh?
Did y'all give it a meaning?
No.
Y'all ain't give it a meaning?
It never was a meaning of it. It became us. Like it
Definitely.
was kind of
Knuckleheads.
like our image. Like I said, I see guys walking and all this stuff. They be like, D-Mile, D-Mile. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Before they even shake my hand, they'll do that. So it turned into part of us. Everybody expected us to do it.
What's something you would want to leave with the youth or even adults? Just some advice.
Lead with just how important financial literacy is. That's big to me because you need to understand it and understand for you to succeed. Because once you don't even understand that, it's like you always behind the eight ball because you just don't understand how a system work. You don't understand how credit work or how you supposed to pay your bills the proper way or anything like that. Just financial literacy is the biggest thing because once you get that, like you'll see the benefits out there for you to have in life.
Yeah, I think it's dope, man. What I think is dope about life is, and the ups and downs is that, you go through something to teach somebody else so they won't go through what you go through. So everything is. I mean, you could look at it as a curse, but I feel like everything's usually a gift because it's usually a lesson for
Yeah,
everybody. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
Uh,
it's big to me because like I don't gain nothing out of preaching it, telling kids or all that. I always want to give the right advice because my blessing might not come from me doing that. It might come from something that's totally different than
Different,
what
right?
I actually did. So once you get at a certain age, it should be a responsibility to you to drop the game back off on the youth because they are next presidents.
Sure.
They are next judges, what less police officers or wherever it is. They are next everything. So dropping the knowledge off and passing the torch ain't always a bad thing.
Sure. Well, we appreciate you for coming on,
Oh
man.
man,
Appreciate it.
anytime, bro.
Yeah.
Anytime, man. You know
Thanks
I'm
a lot.
right down the street, so just let me know
Sure.
what to
Knuckleheads.
do, man. I'm always around.
Bet. All right, that's another episode of Talking Taste. Till next time.